After a week of traveling around and visiting a lot of our bridge users, there was one area that stood out as an area that I'd like to shine a brighter light on. And that is the functionality that revolves around our unique block structure that we offer. The one for AMRAP, as many rounds as possible, and rounds for time, as well as EMOM, and how those can be tied to benchmarks and then tracked over time, added to leaderboards, so on and so forth. I'm going to show you that both on the web in the builder, as well as what that looks like on the phone for a little bit of context. Let's go ahead and dive on in. I have a sample program already built here, tracking benchmarks, creative name. And so we're going to go into that. I'll show you where you can find rounds for time, AMRAP, EMOM blocks. And we can do that by clicking on add a block here, select new block, and then select AMRAP, EMOM, rounds for time, whichever one you choose. I already have an AMRAP and a rounds for time above, so I'm going to stick with those there. If you save any of those as a template, you can also dive into your template blocks here, and you'll be able to find it there as well. All right, so first off, we have this AMRAP benchmark here at the block level. It's 10 minutes. So you're going to get as many rounds as possible in 10 minutes. Rounds consist of echo bike and push-ups, and the exercise level prescription is 10 cals for the bike and 10 reps for the push-ups. Now you'll be able to go in and record that both on how many rounds you achieved as well as how many reps. So you could say that, like, in that regard, 10 cals, each one of the cals would count as a rep. Each one of the push-ups would count as a rep. So essentially you've got 20 quote-unquote reps per round. To give a little context, I'll go ahead and go into this on the phone, as you can see to the right. I'm going to click on that program, tracking benchmarks. Select that workout because we only have one. Preview it. Looks all good. Go ahead and start. Now you can see right there we have the echo bike, push-ups, so on and so forth. I can put how many rounds I did. I'm going to go ahead and we'll put 9 rounds and we'll go up to 16 reps. So we got all the way through the echo bike and 6 reps into the push-ups before time elapsed. Okay, so that's how you can see that there. Then we'd push that check mark on the right hand where it says max rounds in 10 minutes. However, I don't want to do that yet because I want to show you one of the advantages of saving one of these as a benchmark. If you look back over here on the web version, you can see that little star. That star annotates that this is linked to a benchmark. What that does, there's a few things. It allows you to put it on leaderboards. It allows you to track those performances over time. And in regard to the phone app, it allows your athlete to see their history. Now, the only reason the history is out of order there is because I was punching in some dummy data. But generally, it would be in the order of the newest on top to the oldest at the bottom. But you can see those all done here. Once I'm done, I click that check mark and it will take us straight over to the next block, which is our rounds for time. Okay, so that's one of the advantages of the benchmark. I'll show you right now how that could look if we go into the analytics module and create a new leaderboard. That way, especially if you're a platinum account, you can have live leaderboards. So you can make this entire leaderboard. It's going to pop out of my screen here when I do the full screen mode. But, oh, that's customizing it. I don't want to customize it right now. I want to show you, we have automatic reload every 1, 5, 15 minutes. However, turn it off. I'm going to have every 1 minute. So that way it would automatically update this every minute. So think about having this projected on a big TV or a screen in the weight room on a day that you're having some sort of timed event like we're doing here. I push full screen mode. My monitor is big, so it's going to blow outside of what you see in the video. Okay, but now you can imagine that entire thing minus all this bridge specific stuff at the top on a big screen where it's automatically updated every minute. You know, bring some more interactivity to the event. So not only does it annotate it here in the benchmarks, but what it will also let you do, I'll go back to analytics because I created another report there titled Benchmark Report, is it can show your best performances tracked longitudinally over time. So there's no data for June, July, August, so on and so forth. But there was for September, there was for October. You can see how that's improved, as well as the max and min for this time frame. So again, if we had June, July, August, we'd be able to see that trend over time. So some great ways that you can use circuit style training that's super popular and relevant today in a trackable and meaningful way. Whether that's just for fun on the leaderboards like we've shown here, or if you use, that's commonly used like a short circuit, which is like 8 minutes or less, a medium circuit, 10 to 20 minutes, or a long circuit, 30 minutes plus, as some sort of assessment to determine what characteristic, one of those three abilities, need to be developed the most. So again, a lot of strategy behind how you can use these, a lot of ways that it can work. But here's some of the benefits within Bridge specifically on why making one of those specific blocks a benchmark. Now doing that is as simple as clicking on these three dots that say we're going to edit something at the block level. It'll pop up. If we wanted to change the rounds, or we wanted to change a name, we'd click on the pencil. We don't. We want to link it to a benchmark. So we'll go save. Now, this is a common mistake because right now we're saving it as a template. Oftentimes, even I go in here and I'll save it as a template when in all actuality, I wanted to make it a benchmark. So let's say that there's no benchmark created for this right now. Oh, actually there is. Well, we're just going to say that there's not. If you already had it created, you just select this and then it would be linked and that star would populate. We will do a new one for functionality purposes. Okay, that one doesn't exist. We're going to go new benchmark, save that name. Sweet. Now we can go ahead and check this. You'll notice we have a filter for the search. We want to use this round 2 one or part 2 one, so we'll click that. Now you can see it's been created. It's now linked. Now there's a star next to it. So now we'll be able to do the similar Echo Bike push-ups, but this one rounds for time, doing 10 rounds as fast as you can and recording the time. We'll be able to save that. Look at that historic performances. Look at that on a leaderboard. Look at that in the test results from the analytics report that I provided. So a lot of different ways that you can leverage these very common and very useful circuit style blocks within Bridge to bring more meaning, whether that's for fun in leaderboards or whether that's for performance tracking over time via those test results.